The 5 traditional print evaluation criteria. The objectives of this video are first to introduce the 5 criteria for print evaluation and to also discuss how you can evaluate print resources using the criteria. So why do you need to evaluate your sources in the first place? Any sources that you find, you need to make sure that the information is accurate and reliable, because if it's not accurate or reliable, then it's of no use to you. So when we're evaluating sources, we find out how the information was found in the first place, who published that information or who found it, why are they including the information in the print resource, when was it included, and what topics are included in the sources. You need to be able to answer all these questions to determine if the information is useful, accurate, and reliable. The first criteria is accuracy. When you're figuring out accuracy, you're determining if the information is true and factual. Any information that you're finding, you want it to be true. So here are some questions that you can ask yourself when you're determining accuracy. How reliable and free from error is the information? If you're reading along and there are some facts that you don't think are true, then the information probably isn't very reliable. Also, are there editors and fact checkers? So did someone check to make sure that the information was true before this was published? So these are some questions that you can ask yourself when determining if the information is accurate. The next criteria is authority. You want to determine who is responsible for the information, who wrote the information in the first place, and also who decided to publish this information as well. Here's some questions that you can ask. What are the author's qualifications for writing on the subject? Is the author a reputable person in the field? Are they a qualified expert of the information? And also, how reputable is the publisher? Who published the information? Is it a company that you can trust that would be able to check the information and make sure it was accurate before it was published? So again, you want to make sure you know who is responsible for this information to begin with. The third criteria is objectivity. You're determining if the information is objective or free from bias or personal beliefs or judgments. You want to make sure that the information that is being given to you is not being swayed some way based on the author's personal opinions or views. You want factual information, and that's what makes it objective rather than subjective, where it's somebody's personal beliefs. Here are some questions that you can answer. Is the information presented with a minimum of bias? So again, is the information being given to you in an opinion sort of way, or is it all factual? To what extent is the information trying to sway the opinion of the audience? What's the purpose of the text? Is it just to inform you, or is it trying to persuade you? If the answer is it's trying to persuade you, it's probably not free of bias. So you want to make sure and think about the purpose of the source. Why is the author writing it? Are they trying to sway your opinion? And if so, it may not be a good source. The fourth criteria is currency. You want to determine when the information was published. You want to make sure that all the information that you're finding is fairly recent, because all kinds of information is changed because of new developments in certain fields or new kinds of technology and things coming about. So you want to know when it was published to make sure it's the most current information that you can gather on that topic. Here's some questions to think about. Is the content of the work up to date? And how soon is it published? When was it published? And is the date clearly labeled in the text that you're looking at. You want to make sure that you're able to find out when this information was published. The fifth criteria is coverage, which is determining what information is included in the source. For example, if you are researching the Korean War and you have a book that's about Korea, you want to make sure that the Korean War is included in the book that you've located. This might be something that you want to look for first when you're looking at criteria. But actually, if you think about the first four that we talked about already, accuracy, authority, objectivity, and currency, it doesn't really matter if your information is included in that source if the information wasn't reliable in the first place. So this is why this is the fifth criteria. So questions that you can ask: what are the topics included in the work? Does the print source have the information that you're looking for on the certain topics that you've decided to research? And are the topics included explored in depth? Meaning, is there a lot of information that's rich and covers all sorts of information about that certain topic? You want to make sure you have a lot of information from that source. So next time you're researching information, use these 5 criteria to help evaluate the sources that you found. Make sure that the information is accurate, that you know who wrote it, that the information is objective, it's current, and it has the information that you're looking for.